talked a little bit about the threes being more within the framework of the offense
Right.
instead of settling. I know you don't, quote-unquote, worry about guys when they're not shooting well, but how good was it to see Austin make his first 5? Because he has struggled a little bit.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I am not worried about Free, but he's a better shooter than what's shown up in games. He's banging shots in practice, but he hadn't made them in games. And I think a lot of that was a function of the what I said earlier, the kind of shots we got.
With conference play now beginning next Monday, are you happy with what you've seen for the first 10 games?
Everything, you have to reevaluate everything to a certain extent. I mean, we have gotten better since our first practice, since our first game. We have to continue to get better. And that's, I mean, yes, I give these answers and some of y'all start to chuckle because after a couple of years you hear me say the same thing over and over again. But it's what I really believe. We have to be better come Monday than we were today. And so, am I happy? I don't know that I'm happy, but I think that we have made progress, and we're in an unforgiving league. We have a pretty difficult start, but if you look around the conference, there's nothing that's going to be easy from here on out. So we're going to have to scrap and fight and execute at both ends of the floor.
There's nothing easy, but 3 top 10 teams in 8 days. Can you just give your sense of what that's like to see that on the schedule?
Well, and you guys know how I process things. You see, the schedule comes out, and whenever it came out, and you look at that and you say, okay, that's an interesting start. And I probably don't need to say anything else about that, right, Mr. Mirror? But then, as we get through it, what is essential, and going back to how we function, how I function. We play Connecticut next, and all of our energy has to go into getting ready for that game and preparing for that game. And then after that game is over, we'll play Pitt, and then we'll go from there. I mean, we can't. Our league is too talented, too deep, too strong to all of a sudden start looking at your whole. Whoa! Look at the next 20 games.
But even to go back prior to that, to the preparation, I mean,
we're going to start.
It did make an impression on you, though, to see those 3 teams listed one after the other.
Yeah, we got a tough league. We have a very difficult conference. It's a challenging start to conference play. We all know that. I mean, if you want to get a quote on that, yeah, it's a challenging start on conference play. And you see that and you say, whoa, that's a challenging start to conference play. All right, now we got to focus on Connecticut, and we'll take it one day at a time, one game at a time, and as I always have said, we'll pick our heads up at the end of the year and see where we stand.
The flip side of that is, as hard as it is, and I know every game in this league is hard to an extent, you can't really get any harder than that first stretch. I mean, once you get through that stretch, you will have seen everything.
We'll see. We'll see. We wouldn't have seen Syracuse's zone yet. It's a lot we wouldn't have seen. We wouldn't have been down. I mean, we will go from here. We will start to prepare for Connecticut and next Monday, and like I say, I haven't started to look at them yet. I mean, I'm familiar with their team. You're familiar with their team. They have a terrific team. They're one of the, if not the most talented teams in the country. 1 through 12. They have a presence almost at every position. It's easy to talk about the beat, just because of how big he is and how effective he is and how much he's improved from year to year to year. But they have a presence at just about every position.
After going out and watching Gonzaga face-to-face in Orlando, how impressive is it to see them go out there and beat them on their own court?
When you go, I mean, not just to travel across country, you go out there, you play well. I haven't watched that game yet. I saw the score, but I know the Gonzaga is terrific. So we'll talk before the Connecticut game, and I'll probably have a lot more thoughts on them than I do right now.
With today's game, you set a Georgetown record for most consecutive home wins. Could you talk about that accomplishment and how important it is that other teams view the Bryant Center as a difficult place to play?
I didn't realize that. Our fans have been terrific. You know, I say that all the time. The support and energy we get from our fans has been great, and so we just want to keep going.
The opposing coach was really complimentary of Mr. Wright, and he was probably the best player they played in face so far.
Not probably.
I mean, he was pretty adamant about it. How would you grade his performance today?
How'd you play with me? I thought he was all right. I think that everyone, you know, like I said, we had our lapses, so forth and so on. But for the most part, everyone, you know, as a coach, you look at that game and there's a lot you can find wrong. But I think everyone did what they were supposed to.
Any other questions for Coach? No? Thank you, Coach.